Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It's time for another episode of Pints with Poke. I'm the drunk pokeroo. 'Tis beer time. Big old Belgian beer time. I haven't had this beer in almost a decade. 2017, last time we had this. 11% Imperial Dark Belgian Strong Ale, the Goudon Carolus, Cuvee van de Keizer. Beer for the Emperor. Okay, I'm not the Emperor, but Belgian family brewers. Anker Brewing Company. Cork and Cage. Cork and Cage. When you're only having one, and I usually only have one. I think I had 2 beers one time last week. There was one night where instead of just one, I had 2. And that was over the course of 6 hours. I used to crush so many beers. This is a whole evening here. Belgian Dark Strong Ale, available at the LCBO for your perusal, should you want to have it. That was sort of good, I guess. See, I'm looking for quality now. Like, I don't want to drink... I'll drink the crappy non-alcs if there's a bad non-alc. That's funny, right? I'm not wasting ABV, as I used to like to say, and I say it now, too. We're using our Westmalle glass for this one. You want a big mouth glass for these kind of beers. Big mouth glass. Lots of aromas happening. Lots of big things happening. I like Cage and Cork. It adds to the pageantry of the beer. Let's get into it. This is sniffy sniffs first. Like, you want this to really just envelop your nose. You really want to get in that dark fruit, the plum. There's chocolate in there. Coffee has beautiful smells. Let's get into it. Cheers, my friends, to Belgian beers. When you're only having one, you got to make it a good one. Cheers. So they brew this once a year. My God. Should have picked up 2. I might go pick one more up and throw it in the cellar just for a year. Again, we're only trying to save stuff for a year. That's ridiculous. Caramel, plum, raisin, fig, coffee, chocolate. That kind of Belgian candy sugar sweetness. A little bit of heat on the back. Absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. This is a big, beautiful beer, and I appreciate these beers so much because I don't drink them anymore as much, right? Like, if I'm having a couple beers a week, 2 or 3 beers a week, this is one of them. It's a moment, it's an event. I let the beer makes the day special, right? Because I'm having, like, these non-alcoholic beers, and some of them are very nice, and some of them are, awful. But they're not events, right? There's very few that have been events. There's been a couple of good ones, but this beer feels like an event. It feels like, yeah. And I don't know, like, how often do you get these kind of beers where they're really great like that? It's kind of special. It's more special now than it used to be because, I'm not going to get a big, nice beer tomorrow. I'm not going to get to have an alcoholic beer tomorrow, or maybe I'll have one, and then I won't have one for 4 or 5 days, and then I'll have one. So it really is, I gotta hope that my choices are good, but it really does limit where you go because you're like, well, I don't trust that brewery, so I'm not going to buy beers. This I trust. I've had this before. I agree with the pedigree. It's fine. But something definitely, if you haven't had it, and you like big Belgian beers, dark, strong, big fruitiness to it, the coffee's gorgeous, the chocolate caramel. The whole thing is just this big, malty beauty. If you want a heavy beer, this is it. This is a winter warming kind of cuddle inside. We ain't going nowhere. Let's watch a movie and do nothing. All right? Poke loves you. Cheers. I'm incredibly underdressed for this particular beer, and I'm going to have to live with that, I guess. What a gorgeous thing. Go get some.